almost 5 months since I started relearning Japanese, which might be shocking because my journey with Japanese actually started 10 years ago when I was first introduced into the world of anime. In retrospect, that was a very bad idea because now whenever I speak Japanese, I get the same feedback that my Japanese sounds like I've learned it from anime. It's basically a kind way of saying that you suck. So there were 2 options for me. 1, quit Japanese altogether, or 2, try and find a way to unlearn the 10 years of anime Japanese. And what better way to do that than to speak to Japanese natives? My first lesson was with Kiko-sensei. Now, I booked this lesson late into the night where it was nearing my bedtime and I'm usually half asleep. So that meant I could hardly think in English, let alone Japanese. Anyways, this is how the lesson went.
こんにちは。こんにちは。聞こえますか？大丈夫？はい、聞こえます。はい。あ、よろしくお願いします。はい、よろしくお願いします。ネジが多いかな？元気いっぱいですね。元気、はい。私はロンドンで住んでいる。そう、今は夜時ちょっと疲れています。ああ、なるほど。名前は何ですか？あだ名はユナ。ユナ？ああ、はい、ユナ。
Surprisingly, the lesson flowed super easily. Kiko-sensei was extremely patient with me and very attentive to all of my mistakes. Throughout our conversation, I started to feel more and more at ease, and gradually I was even able to open up a bit more with my crappy Japanese. And just the way Kiko-sensei was carrying the conversation made me feel like I was super competent. So it was all going swimmingly until she said something I will never forget. Now, I would have loved to show you, but unfortunately, my recording software crashed. But it doesn't matter because her words stuck with me. Yuena-san, you like anime, right? And you might be thinking, what is wrong with that sentence? Well, there is many things wrong with this sentence. When I asked her what made her think that way, she said, the way you speak reminds me of anime. I obviously had a lot of work left to do.
はい、聞こえます。本当です。なんだっけ？なんだろう。宿題をすること見ていますか？そうさっき My last minute.
She can see I'm doing my last minute homework right now.
Bro, dude, I'm still writing it. We still have 10 minutes, okay? Can I just leave?
I'm a bad student. My next lesson was with Aya-sensei. So Aya-sensei has been a teacher I've been working with for over 5 weeks. Her methods are very different to traditional teachers you might find on italki. While other tutors might focus on conversation, Aya-sensei is more about writing. In fact, the homework that I do on stream with you guys is all set by Aya-sensei. So she's carrying both of our Japanese. Now, why writing? To be honest, not all mistakes get caught when you're just speaking to each other, since the conversation can go pretty fast. With writing, it really forces you to type out all of the sentences, which means all of the errors that you make, you can't squirm yourself out of it.
いっぱい思い出すがあります。私の思い出。住んでいるっていうと、プログレッシブテンスですね。今、私が住んでいる町。
Don't get me wrong, Aya-sensei is lovely, but she is meticulous. With every sentence you write, she will go so in-depth, which means no mistake gets left unturned. With all of these corrections and explanations though, it gives me a much better idea of how Japanese grammar works, and I'm able to internalize the unconscious errors that I make. Honestly, her lessons is the biggest reason why my Japanese is progressing in the right direction, because good speaking requires good input. So having some sort of guidance and explanation from a real native speaker really helps me unlearn my anime Japanese. And finally, at the end of the lessons, we wrap up with some reading practice through news articles. My third lesson that I did was with Keitaro-sensei, who at the time of recording has been teaching me for 3 weeks. I usually take lessons with Keitaro the day after my lessons with Aya-sensei, because the big brain strat here is to use the new vocab and grammar learned from Aya-sensei and review it in Keitaro's lesson.
今はお昼
です。
ご飯は
ご飯食べた。
何食べたの？
私の普通の食べ物。I don't know how to sweet potato.
焼き芋？
焼き芋？日本でドンキに。Wait, sweet potato.
Yes,
めっちゃ好き。
焼き芋。Yes.
焼き芋。And fried rice.
ああ、 チャーハン
チャーハン。
なんかすごい組み合わせだね。
It's random.
ダイエットにいいよね、焼き芋は。
ダイエット。ダイエットない。でも聞こえて、焼きのは健康にいいだよ。
健康にいいね。
健康にいい。
そうだね。
なんだろう、italkiで教えてほしい。
僕が日本語を教える理由か。まあ僕もおすすめ、友達からおすすめ。いいitalkiをやろうと思ったのは、今僕普通の仕事を、今日もしてきたんですけど、ちょっとした時間でいろんな人とコミュニケーション楽しい。
意見も交換、
そう意見もね交換することができます。交換できるから楽しいです。
Now, Keitaro's approach to lessons is to act more like a friend than a tutor, which means that the Japanese we use is more casual, and he's the one who's been teaching me most of the Japanese slang. For those who don't know, Japanese is all about the respect. The reason why my Japanese may sound anime is because they tend to speak extremely casual there, whereas in Japan, it's important to speak formally to people you don't know, especially to those who are older than you. So while my goal is to sound more respectful, it is also nice once in a while to indulge.
僕はアートが好きだった。
アートが好き。
Yes。僕絵を描くことが昔は好きでよく絵を描いてました。
今まだ描いてますか？
今は最近は描いてない。
何を好き？描いたこと。
風景景色、建物、ビルディング。
Architecture。私は全然like opposite。
opposite。何が好きでしたか？
人、アニメ。い
いね、いいじゃん。僕はね、アニメは下手くそ。描けない人は。
下手くそ。
僕は。何で描きますか？絵の具？
絵の具は何？
ペイント。iPad 難しくない？僕、一度ね iPad でやったら難しかった。
Like when you make a mistake 考えやすい。
それは確かに。私が間違えた時、メイクミステイクで間違える。
そう間違える時。
間違えた時はすぐ修正消すことができますね。
At this point, I thought I saw everything italki had to offer. Scrolling through the rest of the tutors, most of them had very similar teaching styles, which is, have conversation practice, go through grammar books, until I landed on Nagisa-sensei. Nagisa focuses on role-playing. There's actually a large subset of people in the language learning community who uses role-playing, but I've personally never tried that myself. I mean, with limited vocabulary, it's pretty impossible. So I thought maybe with a little help from a tutor, I might finally be able to bring my fantasies to reality. But there was a slight problem. You see, I chose Nagisa for her unique teaching approach, but there's actually another reason too. While other teachers explain concepts to me in English, Nagisa's second strongest language is Chinese. And well, you guys probably know, but I'm also trying to improve my Chinese.
所以你说中文对吗？
一点点的。
一点点。そうなんだ。
我也在学习。因为我的妈妈爸爸都是中国人，但是我在英国长大的，所以我用英文。
原来是这样OK， 所以你说你用英文读书对吗？
对，我的母语是英文，对。
因为我比较会中文，所以
对啊，你的中文很厉害哎。
没有，你听懂就好了。
喜欢用漫画学。
漫画。
漫画，对。
全部都是看漫画学过的。
对，然后用 anime 和 YouTube。
いいですね。そっか。わかりました。这也是很好的。
谢谢。
漫画里面的话，比较怎么说？有一些表达方式是在日常有点不一样，
的东西对。
但是还是你可以试一试说。然后我觉得这个在日常的话，用另外一个表达比较好的话，我也跟你说一下。
She introduces her different teaching styles, which were textbook learning, role-playing, and finally games. Games. Okay, I did say I was in this lesson for role-playing, but when she mentioned games, I had to choose that. The premise of the game was simple. We'd alternate by making sentences based on a grammar point that we were learning. Each sentence was based on the previous until a chain was made, which led to very interesting outcomes.
いえば做的游戏，比如说 anime 都いえば，对，那如果你听 anime， 你的脑海中想到的东西是什么？ということなんですけど。
アニメといえば可愛い
可愛いキャラいいですよね。じゃあ水泳といえば私は溺れる
Drowning
演奏ゲームはこうやってといえばを使っていろいろ考える。
楽しい。
If you're learning 2 languages, italki can help with that too. You could improve both at the same time by finding a tutor that only speaks those 2 languages. And at the end of the lesson, I did feel rather accomplished that I navigated a whole lesson without any English. You might have noticed that this video has been brought to you by italki. And honestly, I was very shocked when italki reached out to me because I have been using italki for like a past year now. So italki is an online language learning platform offering personalized one-to-one lessons with native speaking teachers. Recently, when I picked Japanese up again, I've been using italki twice a week, which you saw from Aya-sensei and Keitaro-sensei. And I found that having these anchored lessons throughout the week has motivated me to keep leveling up my Japanese. If you're like me, you might find speaking the hardest part of language learning, not only because we might be an introvert, but also because finding native speakers is a pain. I did try other free methods like using Discord servers or character AI, but the real-time feedback and guidance that you get from native speakers hits different. Plus, their attentiveness in class is the main reason why my Japanese has improved. It's super easy to book a lesson on italki. Since there's no subscription fee involved on italki, all you pay for is the lesson itself. Many teachers are also super flexible and offer a variety of courses for different levels. Recently, italki has introduced a new AI-powered feature, italki Plus, to the platform. Don't worry, it's not replacing tutors with AI, but it's enhancing lessons instead. The AI gives you personalized feedback and summaries of the lessons, tracks and gives you lesson highlights, helping ease the burdens on the tutors, and also giving students more tools to take control of their learning. Plus, it comes with a 1-month free trial. Having the opportunity to improve listening and speaking through real-life conversations is the fastest way to get to conversational fluency. And some tutors also offer trial lessons at a discount, so you can pick and choose the right tutor for you. So if you're interested, you can click on the link in the description below to start your language journey on italki.
If you spend $10, you can get $5 free with my exclusive promo code Yuena.
But be quick, because the discounts are only available for the first 50 users. And so, we made it! Although 4 lessons is definitely not enough to make me unlearn 10 years of Japanese, with the help of all of these tutors, I can finally see my Japanese being pushed into the right direction. And maybe one day I'll be able to make videos trolling Japanese people to think that I am also a native speaker. But for now, it's time to continue studying. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.